Okay, YouTube, this is STIPE from Unique Chrysler, and today's video is going to be how you can afford one of these Hellcats. So I've got 4 Hellcats here, okay? And I'm going to talk to you about how would be the best way to purchase one and buy one. Now, I am a salesperson at Unique Chrysler here in Burlington, Canada, okay? I understand that a lot of people who watch my videos are from the US. So this is also going to be for people even in the US. Now I know right now in the United States, and this sucks for people in Canada, that leasing a Hellcat isn't a bad option. Now leasing here in Canada, on the other hand, on a Hellcat is just not possible. Most dealerships will laugh and tell you no. And quite honestly, I don't understand why you can do it there, but you can't do it here. So how do I lease a Hellcat? You can't here in Canada. Now in the US, I've heard people who have been getting away with quite good pricing. So some of the pricing that I've heard is something like $700 monthly, which is pretty damn good. Now financing, in my opinion, is better on a Hellcat though. Even though leasing is available, I understand some people have monthly budgets and they just care about a monthly payment. But if you want to think smart and be smart with where you're investing your money, I wouldn't say it's a great investment, a new car. However, it is still a depreciating asset. But a Hellcat, on the other hand, the nice part about it is it's not the worst depreciating asset out there in the world. So look at these Hellcats here. I'm going to talk to you about why it's not a bad idea to finance it. Actually, it's a great idea to finance a Hellcat, and I'll tell you right now why. A Hellcat here in Canada, this Go Mango one, this Challenger right here, would run about $485 bi-weekly. Taxes in, everything, okay? In the US, it would be about $384 bi-weekly. If you live in the US, that's just under $800 a month, as opposed to $700. You know, you're looking at about $770-ish, around there, a little more than that, $80-ish monthly between those bi-weekly payments on this Hellcat right here. Actually, they're both the exact same Hellcats. So now a lease would be, let's say, $700 on this Hellcat. Now this Hellcat comes with sunroof and it's automatic. Those are the only options, I think. Actually, the automatic isn't even an option. Here's a window sticker. Yes, just sunroof and automatic. That's the only things that are significant to this Hellcat, and its color, obviously. Other than that, this is just your Hellcat here. The price of it is an $82,000 vehicle. Now, like I said, you're under $800 a month in the US. Here in Canada, you're looking at just under $1,000 a month. Okay. So if you're in the US, it's not a bad. So I'm trying to compare here from Canada. In the US, it's not bad to finance it. Now in the US, I believe financing is even more than it would be here when you convert the dollar. So, you know, if you live close, you know, for people in Buffalo, I know that it's not a far trip. Anywhere along the border here, even if you're in New York, New Jersey, you know, you can still finance one of these vehicles and ship it down. I think it would still be worth your money. Depending on what dealership you talk to down in the US, it could be different. Now, Chargers here in Canada are a little bit more money. They're typically about $3,000 more than a Challenger. Why? I still don't know. I don't understand that reasoning to that. Now, Chargers do depreciate much quicker as well. So I'm going to strictly talk about the Challenger. So the Challenger you finance, let's say, for under $800 a month in the US. Here in Canada, under $1,000. This vehicle, let's say you do a 4-year lease, $700 a month. 4 years from now, if you finance this vehicle at $800 a month, you will have more paid off. That's half the vehicle you're paying off because it's on a 96-month term. 96-month term. So you will have more of the vehicle paid off in 4 years than what it's worth. So you will have positive equity. Negative equity is when you owe more than what the vehicle is worth. But in this case, you would pay off more than what the vehicle is worth. How do I know this? Just by history. Look at, now obviously I'm going to compare this to a Mustang, but it's very similar. Look at the Mustangs. The Mustang Shelby GT500s when they first came out in 07. I remember these things were about, I think, 57-ish thousand. They still go on Auto Trader, I've seen, for $30,000. Ones that are well maintained. Obviously, a Hellcat's more than likely going to be well maintained. Some people drive them as everyday cars. You can drive them as everyday cars. However, I don't recommend it. Most people who buy this car are going to buy it as an everyday driver. So, how do I know that it'll be worth more? Well, simply like I said, history shows it. The Shelby Mustang is worth more money than what people owe on it. Why? Because in 07, in 07 is going for, let's say, minimum $25,000. That's in 07. It's 10 years later. On an 8-year term, that car is completely paid off. So you still have money and you've enjoyed it for all these years, that vehicle. Now, it might be outdated. Having said that, you see one of those Shelby Mustangs, you still admire the car. Any enthusiast who's a Mustang lover or a muscle car lover, they will love that vehicle. Same goes for the Hellcats, okay? This is an enthusiast car. People who love true muscle cars love this vehicle, okay? Now, this is just a prime example of why these cars will hold their value. I understand there's plenty of them out there. I understand that they've been, mass produced and everything, and hence the reason why I have 4 on my lot. 4 is a lot. I actually have 5. I have one in my showroom as well. But here's the thing, is because even though they're mass produced, they're still going to hold their value just because it is simply a Hellcat. They're still a rare car. You do see them out there. However, you don't see them as frequently. Like, I see more, let's put it this way. I see more M series BMWs out there than I do see SRT product. Understand? I see more AMG product out there than I do SRT. And those vehicles are just as expensive or more. So really, like I say, this car will hold its value much better, and it's just a proven thing with history on American vehicles. They do hold their value better, typically more than German or Japanese brands. Hence the reason why I say go financing. That's the whole point of this video, is after 4 years you will have positive equity. Now, it might be only $5,000, $6,000. However, it's still positive equity. Better than giving your car up back to the dealership, right? And I understand you have to sell it privately, but even if you trade it in, I'm sure you'll probably even make money still on it. I do understand that, some people they lease for the reason of, they don't want to get rid of their vehicle, which is fine. Understand this. This isn't a vehicle you lease. This is a vehicle you enjoy, you're an enthusiast. A vehicle you lease is something that you drive more often, something that, you just want the newest thing. This isn't the newest thing. They're coming out with a Demon. I understand that. Hence the reason why they've kind of dropped down in value. Still, they still will hold their value, definitely. But here's the thing. A lot of people want the Demon, yes. But 707 horsepower is plenty. Trust me. If you're not using it on the track and you just want to use it as a Sunday driver, this is the car you buy. Save a ton of money. Save about $40,000 here in Canada, probably about, I don't know, $25,000 in the US. This is the car you would buy. And I tell people this all the time. I wouldn't lease it because I don't see it as a smart investment on this particular vehicle. You want to go to Audi? Sure. You want to go to BMW? Sure. Ford? Sure. But here's the thing. Chrysler doesn't have their in-house leasing anymore here in Canada. I'm pretty sure in the US it's the same thing. It's done through third-party companies. So depending on that third-party company, that also plays a huge variable in what the residual value is of this vehicle after that, which gives you, obviously what it's worth. Now, that's why a lease is so cheap. Understand that these residuals are high because these vehicles hold their value. So that's why also you have to think to yourself, how can this car be so much less on a lease than when it is, not so much less, $100 less on a lease than it is financing? Well, the reason being is whenever a lease is, enough amount less, probably means that if you kept that vehicle for the term of the lease, it would mean that that vehicle would have some positive equity in it. that is just the way it works. It works in all variables. Trust me. If you play it out with any other manufacturer, any other vehicle, and you see when a lease is $100 cheaper, typically that means that vehicle, after that amount of time, you could get more value for it, because obviously dealerships don't want to take a car back that doesn't have its value anymore. They don't want to resell something and then lose money on it. They want to make money on it. That's how they make business. That's how we do business here. And that's why I always say, if the leasing's cheaper, there's a reason why. I understand that you're paying more into the vehicle and stuff like that, but it's, if you're buying this vehicle for $100 more a month, it makes sense. And here in Canada, it's just under $1,000 a month. Quite honestly, for 700 horsepower and more, this vehicle is worth $1,000 a month, definitely. If you guys have any questions about financing and things like that, please feel free to comment down below. You can email me as well, even if you want to purchase a Hellcat from our dealership. No problem. Give me a call, email me. We can arrange a shipping to your destination, even if you're in the US. Okay? Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.